My name is Matt Cohen. I'm 38 years old. I just moved to Los Angeles from Chicago about 2 months ago. I'm a freelance musician and composer. I identify as a gay male. I am Jewish. My last name is Cohen. I'm very common here in Israel, apparently. I was raised Jewish. I was bar mitzvahed. I was confirmed. I went to temple. We went to temple on holidays, occasionally on Shabbat. My great grandmother, we lit candles with her. I don't currently. I don't practice. I am an atheist. We had a wonderful cantors at our temple that made the music and song leaders fun and inclusive. And that was very sort of we clapped in temple, and that was kind of a taboo or whatever. We clapped along to the music, but it was always very fun and exciting. And so that part of being Jewish has remained with me. I was fortunate enough to be, to grow up in Boca Raton, Florida, where I was, if you weren't Jewish, you were the odd one out. And I, was raised by a very liberal family. I had a very fortunate path. Liberal family, an arts high school. In high school, I knew I kind of liked guys. And then I had a few girls who kind of, who wanted to, go out with me. And I didn't want to. And, I awkwardly tried. But I almost was kind of like, as a sense of sort of fairness and duty, I kind of came out to them maybe my junior year, because I was like, I'm not dating you because I'm gay. That's really what happened. I remember the night at my parents are divorced, so I remember that night vividly. So my friends were first, and then in college I sort of started, dating guys, and then probably my junior year of college I came out to my mother and that side of the family, and she was, I think she might have been in a little denial. She said she wanted grandkids, but I was like, well, you can still have grandkids. But there was no, I came out to my mom in my bedroom, and she was like, oh, I'm gonna go tell Lou, who is my stepfather. Like, that's what happened. And he was like, great. And I told my grandmother. I was like, great. And I told my father. And there was, fine, great. Go enjoy your life. Just be careful. And I think that's good advice for anyone. And then, I never, besides having to deal with it myself and whatever was going on, it was 20 years ago, I never had any, there was not much, fear or hiding. It was easy. Kind of as easy as it could be at the time. So I'm part of a water bridge this year. When I moved to LA, I haven't been to temple in years, but I got in touch with a gay and lesbian temple, one of the two. I just emailed blindly to BCC in Los Angeles, and the cantor there, Yuval, wrote me right back. I told him that I was, if they needed me to write music for a service or to play, I wanted to sort of get involved in as much as I could in this new city, especially because Los Angeles is a huge, I've lived in New York, I've lived in Chicago, and now Los Angeles, and Los Angeles is by far spread out. It's very lonely and isolating, and I wanted to get involved in as much as I can. So I emailed him, he emailed me back, and I started playing for they have musical services once a month, once every 2 months, and I started playing at the service. It's a lovely, lovely place. And again, I made it clear that, my connections to Judaism were more, I guess, cultural and not religious, but musical, cultural, whatever. And we started playing together, and he also happens to be a wonderful, very inspirational person. We get along very well. And he said, oh, you should come to Israel with us this year. And I said, oh, doing what? And he gave me the information about Water Bridge. And I love traveling, is my favorite thing in the whole world. I have wanderlust the most. And also, growing up Jewish, my great-grandmother always, I remember her, you need to go to Israel, you need to go to Israel. okay, I will. And 38 years later, I still hadn't. And so he gave me this information, and I said, oh, it's a lesbian, LGBT trip. What a wonderful context to go to Israel. I didn't feel like my first time in Israel should just be going to Israel and going to places. I wanted to learn about it, and it was an important trip for me. Putting the lesbian and gay, putting it in that context as well, made it even more interesting. I wanted to learn as much as I could about the country and about the culture, just about everything. And I thought this was a wonderful way. And I know Yuval was going, and I was like, we get along, and we know music together. So what a wonderful combination of things. So a moment that's, I quite honestly, so far in the trip, being on Masada and having learned about it and being, knowing it was such a holy place, and it was the first place we went after a day of traveling. That was pretty just inspirational and kind of, oh, I'm here now, I'm in Israel. I'm where my great-grandmother had told me to go, and I also found a picture of my great-grandmother and I together and put it in my suitcase. So she's with me for the entire trip as well. She's now on the nightstand beside my bed. So that was kind of, that seems cliche, but yeah, that was kind of my first moment in Israel. And just, we were just talking about walking around, being in a country where most everyone is Jewish, it's the country-wise so unusual. I've grown up in cities where I've known a lot of Jews, but being in a country where most everyone is Jewish is obviously exceptional. We did a prayer, we did the Shehechianu today after our meeting, and everyone knew it. And that doesn't happen. So it's exceptional, and again, loving to travel, just experiencing that is something new and something exciting, and I'm thrilled to be here and can't wait for more.